Hi, everyone. Welcome to All About the Joy. This is the podcast version. We're doing a little interview today and a little chit chat with Rick Costa. I just realized, Rick, hi, how are
Hello,
you?
hello. How are you?
Nice to always have you here. I realized the other day that, we haven't taken some time to kind of get to know you as the co-host of All About the Joy. So I thought we'd do a little few minutes kind of just chit-chatting about that and why our relationship kind of works.
Mm.
And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about too is some of the topics you've been talking about on your live stream, because I thought it was interesting. So welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you. I feel welcome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So why don't you tell people how we met?
So this wonderful app that no longer exists called Apps, that was just an amazing positive experience. I'm being so sarcastic right now. Yeah, we just came across each other on there. But I think the one video I saw was when you were with three other women and you guys were talking about men, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing. This conversation is awesome. I'm learning stuff right now." And I was like, that's when I was like, "Oh, I like these people."
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
so funny. I don't remember who that was, but that probably
Yeah.
sounds like me, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. And when I first ran into or started getting to know people on Habs, and anyone who listens to me or is on our show knows that I hate that app with every fiber of my being. And I say it every time, just to be clear. Part of it is because it was just a very toxic place.
Yeah.
But there were pearls, there were people, and you're one of those people, Rick, that I thought
Thank you.
were pretty cool, even though you and I do not believe in the same things. And that's what I want to talk about. So, rickcosta.com. So, when I first met Rick, I thought he was a pastor because everyone called you Pastor Rick.
Well, I mean,
So,
I
how did
kind
that come
of
about?
so it was on Periscope. First of
Another
all,
app. Wait.
yes, another
Periscope
app.
is another app,
Yeah,
right?
Periscope was pretty big back in the day. It actually, I think the second year it was out, it became like the number one app, and that's when it really catapulted, and everybody was like on that thing. But funny enough, people have called me that, like slipping, sort of like, "Oh, pastor." I mean, Rick, like they've done that like forever. Even my own pastor has done that in front of the church, and I'm like, what's
Yeah, but
that
you're not.
about?
Yeah, but why? You should tell people why.
Well, because I am super hardcore into the Bible and Jesus, and I'm not
Okay, wait,
ashamed of.
he's being a little humble. Let me intervene. It's not just that you're super hardcore into the Bible, but that is part of it. But you also have a daily service show that you do
Mhm.
on, let me see if I got this right, Sunday through
Friday,
Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific,
Pacific, and 6
6
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And it's about half an hour, 45 minutes. And you do a Bible reading, you do a song that you all sing
Hmm.
together. You have regular
Yep.
people that come on the show, you read the Bible, and then you have like some games that you do that I
Hmm.
try to once in a while come and visit. And I always kind of intervene when the games are going on because I think they're fun. And you do a lot of praying for other people and
Right.
stuff like that. So you've been doing this for 8 years now, every
Yep.
day solidly. You have not missed a day, which you're very proud about that. And I'm all like, we doing this podcast because we taking off Thanksgiving. Right? I have no interest whatsoever in doing that, but
Yeah.
congratulations to you. But the
Thank
reason
you.
why I bring that up is because I think that's why people were calling you also Pastor Rick, is because you are providing a religious service or
Hmm.
sermon, or I don't want to speak for you, but why don't you tell
Right.
people what you call it?
I mean, that's what people just naturally started doing. And then it got to the point where it happened so much where I was like, okay, I guess this is happening. So I'm just going to let it happen. And I even changed my name on Periscope to Pastor Rick Costa. I was like, we're just going to go with it. That's what it is. And I mean, I'm serving the purpose of one. I do, what do I do that's different? Not really much. There's like a little sermon, but there's the worship. It's a church service. It's literally
Yeah,
a church service for
it's
8 years.
online, right?
Yeah, it's online. So yeah, we just kind of went with it, and everybody was calling me that, and I was like, all right, I guess I
Right.
accept it. I fought that for the longest. I was like, no, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. But then I was like, all right,
Well,
stop
I
fighting it.
mean, what's the big deal? I don't know what the okay, so let's just talk about we don't have to go down why you are or are not called Pastor Rick. And I understand you have a lot of humility issues and being someone I say that respectfully, but being someone who grew up in the Catholic Church, I went to school for 12 years, from first grade to 12th grade, went to Catholic school.
Hmm.
My mom, for the years that I had her up until I was 11 and a half, was Catholic. We lived in the archdiocese. So there was a lot of this
Hmm.
around me growing up. The
Right.
difference is that my mom made it very, very clear to us that there were things about the Catholic Church specifically that we didn't have to adhere to. So, like, for example, my mom, I remember vividly, I came home when they started having the priest have face to face confession. I don't know what you know about Catholicism because your service is
I
not.
grew up in Catholicism.
Oh, you did?
I was a hardcore Catholic. Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
I prayed the
Okay.
rosary every day. Oh
Oh,
yes,
goodness.
I
Okay. So
was an
you
altar boy.
remember. Oh,
Oh,
were you? Oh,
oh,
goodness.
everything.
Do
Yeah.
you remember when they switched from going into the confessional into going face to face to the priest?
The first time I did communion, because I was in Catholic school as well as regular
Mhm.
public school, I cried. I don't remember what he said. I came out of the room and I'm like, I just wanted to leave. And they're like, what did he tell you to do? You got to say however many prayers. Like, I don't remember what he said. Well, you go up there and you fake it because you
Right.
can't just leave. I was literally crying because I was like, this is weird to me. Why am I telling a human my faults? Can God not hear me? Like, what? This doesn't make sense to me. I
Right.
never thought
Well,
that
for me,
was
it was a little bit different. I just didn't want to be in a room by myself with a priest or with anybody. And I was a little kid.
right.
But I remember my mom being very dismissive about confessional. And I think it's probably kind of in line with what you're talking about. She was just like, go in, say you swore to your mother, say you did, baby, and don't worry about it. And then just sit there and pretend you're praying and don't. It was kind of that thing. And
Right.
I was really young, but I remember the impression was because I don't remember what she said exactly. I'd be lying if
Right.
I said I remembered. But the impression was your relationship is between you and God. We're just here because we're part of the archdiocese and it's a good school. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
I kind of always understood that, and also, just the people around me.
Hmm.
So yeah, so we have that background as a common thing,
Yep.
but I also think you're pretty cool. You don't push religion on other people.
Right.
As everyone has seen the show, you're a big Marvel fan and a Star Trek fan, and so we kind of connected on that end too.
Hmm.
And we've had some heated conversations about
Hmm.
issues,
Yep.
and I don't think I changed your mind, but I feel like I made you think about something.
Yes.
And I like that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I've come on your show and I've enjoyed the you how do you say it? The community of praying for people. I love
Mm.
that part. I don't usually chime in. I chime in during the game.
Right.
Or I say hi. I do say hi, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
But I do love that people are asking, worshiping together. I do think there is something beautiful
Mhm.
about that, no matter what church it is.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I definitely think there's something to it when you do it together, you know. Yes, you can do it yourself and that's awesome, but when you're doing it in a community, it's just different somehow. It's I don't know, it's powerful. It's just different.
I absolutely believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible. That's where you and I kind of have a difference of opinion or faith or whatever we're calling it. But I respect it. I respect
Mhm.
your viewpoint. But I love going to like a Baptist church or whatever for for the
Mhm.
sheer community of it, of
Yeah.
worshiping with people. And also the music is
Mhm.
just so there is a spiritual, I don't even know what to call it. There is
Mm.
something that happens when you're with other people who are that intense about praying. You can't help but become part of
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna call it joy.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
There is something really beautiful and powerful about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not against it.
Yeah, the community aspect is definitely a big attraction, I would say,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
And you have a pretty decent following. And what I'm so grateful for is so many of the people that follow you on your show come to All About the Joy, which
Yeah.
is so lovely of them to stop
Yeah.
by, and they've become part of our regular people. And
Hmm.
I kind of love that. I think it's
Yeah.
so cool, so
Yeah.
thank you for bringing your crew with us.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm begging them. They're just like, oh, Rick's going to be over here. Let's join. So,
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question though, because the reason why we're doing this is because I wanted to have this conversation with you. Now, I don't remember everyone's names, but you have a group, two other people that you do a show with. Why don't you talk about that? And then I'll ask you the question about a subject matter you were talking about recently.
yeah. So there's Jason Wallace, and also Catholic. But then he started going to another church, and the pastor challenged him to read the Bible every day. And he saw me, and he goes, you know what? I could go online and read the Bible. So he started doing that.
Oh,
And then it
cool.
just started a snowball of him broadcasting all the
Right.
time. And now I think he got more people watching him than me. So, yeah, he was there from almost the very beginning. And
Okay.
then Sue, who we call Mama Sue,
Okay.
she's been Christian for a long time too. And yeah, we asked her one day, would she join us? And she goes, oh, I'd love to. And so, yeah, so we do a monthly broadcast together if we're all available. And
Oh, monthly. I thought it was
no,
weekly. Oh,
yeah,
it's
it's monthly. It's
monthly.
monthly.
Okay,
Yeah.
monthly.
Yep.
And the subject matter that you guys are talking about intrigued me. I haven't been able to watch a show because I think it's on a Saturday or something, right? When is your
Yeah.
yeah.
Usually Saturdays. Yeah.
But you were talking about, and I'm so sorry to do this. You're okay talking about it though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
So the subject matter is, why are people no longer going to church? Is that
Mhm.
correct? Am I putting that correctly?
So basically, it started with a Facebook post where I asked the question, and this was like from 2 or 3 years ago. Why do you think people don't go to church? And boy, did the comments flow. Woo! People had lots to say.
And so my question is, what are some of the reasons, or what are you learning through this conversation? Because if people really want to know about it, they should probably go. I want to promote Mama Sue and what's his name? Jason Wallace's
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
Wallace's show as well. I want to be nice to them and kind. And you can find out more information about them on rickcosta.com. You can find
Or
out more about the schedule there.
JesusDidIt.org is specifically for the whole ministry, but yeah.
I am so sorry. And I never promote his show on my show, but I will today. I'm so sorry. JesusDidIt.org. What's rickcosta.com? Oh, that's
just personal. That's just me. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but if people go to rickcosta.com, can they find JesusDidIt.org?
If they click on the link for my book, it takes you to JesusDidIt.org. Yeah,
I am so sorry. I did not know this. So
yeah, that's fine.
you maybe want to put a button there.
Yeah, I was just thinking, do I even have one? That's
I
really
think
dumb
you
if I
should
don't.
put a little button or a little
Yeah.
link. So my apologies, JesusDidIt.org. I always say rickcosta.com because people are starting to know you. That's like your brand, your name. So
Yeah, it's easy to
but
remember.
I think after tonight you're gonna put a little button somewhere, right?
I need to if it's not
I
there.
think you do. But okay, so what have you learned in your conversations? Biggest reasons or biggest surprises?
I think the biggest thing that just keeps coming up over and over and over again through all the different types of comments is people have been hurt. We call it church hurt, quote, quote. Yeah, people have just been hurt in church. And it's like, church is not a place where you get hurt. Church is a place where you're supposed to get help and healed and have hope. And the fact that people get hurt, it's like, what are y'all thinking about?
Can you get more specific? What do you mean by like are there some specific examples? Like what does that mean?
So, some people are real sensitive. Some of them, they're just too sensitive. Like, the pastor didn't say hi to me. Like, sometimes it's that dumb.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I mean, I know some people who have left the church because of the hypocrisy of what priests have done in the Catholic, church to altar boys, to young people. I mean, that's in the news. You can Google it. That's not. And I know people who are like, you know what? It's not even that the act happened. It's that then, the Pope or the bishops have just moved people on. You know what I mean? And not really dealt with that. And I I have other reasons why I don't go to church, but that to me is a big one. There's a
Yeah.
hypocrisy there.
Yeah. You can't sweep that under the rug.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. And like, just like any sex offender, you get on the registry, and if they move into your neighborhood, you can get an email. Oh, somebody just, that
Right.
shouldn't be a secret. You want to be, I feel bad for them. Yeah. Cause it's embarrassing, but I mean, you want to be safe if you got kids, especially. So
Right. Wait,
yeah,
wait. Who do you feel bad for?
like I know somebody that there was a situation and
They were
yeah,
accused.
yeah, but the girl was totally pretending to be older, and it was just a big mess. And so, yeah,
And
anyway.
look, there's no doubt. I mean, this has nothing to do with the church. I've known men who were accused as well, and I find it hard to believe. But that's a whole other conversation,
Yeah.
where people are taking advantage of the fact that we will believe you. We
Mhm.
want to believe you, and we will do whatever we need to do to protect you. So that's a tough one. But let's
Yeah.
get back to what else have you learned? So I don't want to hear the stupid stuff, which the priest didn't say hi to me. Oh, or whoever. Then
Right,
okay,
right.
whatever.
I mean, hypocrisy definitely comes up. People say, "Oh, they're
Mhm.
hypocrites. They're hypocrites." And I'm like, well, join in, because I'm sure you probably got some hypocrisy in you too. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, there's an expression they say, well, if you want to join the perfect church, as soon as you get there, it ain't gonna be perfect no more, because you ain't perfect either. None of us are. So that's kind of a dumb reason. Not dumb, but anyway,
How
there's a
about
million churches.
okay? How about here's my reasoning, and this isn't specifically to the Catholic Church, but what about all of this evangelical wealth that I think
Mm,
is? I mean, I think one of the things that bothers me. I went to Catholic school, and the nuns were sisters of charity. And let me tell you, there was no doubt about it. They were sisters of charity. We didn't have nothing. They didn't have nothing. It was definitely sisters of poverty or whatever their thing was.
right,
And I
right.
remember that. But I feel like some of these churches,
Hmm.
I'm shook by the tithing, and I'm okay. I'm okay investing in something you believe in, but
Mm,
if he's driving a Rolls Royce, I'm just saying I don't think that's what Jesus would have thought when your flock
right.
ain't got food.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the big ones too. Is they're like, oh, they just want money. They just want money. Da da da. And I hear it. I understand it. And that was a funny thing on Periscope. Again, the first app I was on, and because there was so many more people over there, they'd see me, be like, oh, here's another money hungry preacher, and I'm like, excuse me, everybody, can you tell this person how many times I have ever asked for money? And
Right.
they're like, you never asked for money.
Right.
Back then, I definitely did never ask for money.
Right.
I don't get paid to do this. No, I don't get a paycheck. No, it's putting a gun to my head either. I just do it because I want to do it. But yeah, I definitely understand that. I mean, if you're sitting there broke and the pastor's like, you got to give blah blah blah, and I'm like, I got to pay my rent. What are you talking about? I got to
Right.
get what?
Well,
That's
and it's
ridiculous.
also when they tie the amount of money you get to the miracles and the blessings. I'm like, that's your first clue that is a bad place to be churching, as I call
Hmm.
it. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
someone, because your relationship with God is your relationship with God, and it doesn't matter how much money you give
Hmm.
to whoever is pretending, because at that point you're pretending. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing a quid pro quo, like if you give me 10% of your salary and then I will give you a blessing, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, and I've heard horror stories too. Like a person that's pretty well known, won't say the name, but some brother guy's brother went to his service, and he said to the preacher, he's like, "Hey, my mom's got cancer. It's not looking good," and he said, "Oh, buy this $50
Oh my
bottle
goodness.
of oil, pour it all over her, and she will be healed." She died a month later.
Of course she did. With
So
greasy
that's
hair, I'm
disgusting.
sure. I'm not
That's
trying to be funny, but come on now.
that stuff like that. That just is disgusting, and it makes all of us look bad. Like, what are you doing? Stop
But
it.
you do know that there are more churches like that than not, right? I mean, that's the problem.
I don't know every church, so I don't know. But
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Let me talk about Catholic churches. Like every time I go into a Catholic church, like even here in Santa Monica, there's a big church right down the street here, very well known, very famous. Tour guides go by it, whatever.
mm,
And even when you walk in there, the opulence. I mean, it's beautiful, right? Because these are the old churches, the old cathedrals,
right.
whatever. And all that has to be, upkept or whatever. And if you
Yeah.
go to church, that tithing thing comes around 3 times. Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing about Catholic Church, in case Black people be listening who are not Catholic. Catholic Church is maybe 40 minutes. You're not
Yeah.
there all day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It is Our Father, we sing a song, it's the same, sermon,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I haven't been to church in a long time, and every time I step in, it's like I was just there yesterday, because
Exactly, because it's the same exact
it's the
thing
same thing.
every time.
So in 40 minutes, when that basket comes around 3 or 4 times, that's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in things that you believe in, but it's like nonprofits to me.
Mm,
If you want to invest money to a nonprofit, you need to research it, find
right.
out how much money is going to the administrative costs, which are valid. You can't have a nonprofit without the administrative staff
Right.
working to
Exactly.
do the stuff. But you want to make sure that ratio isn't, 80% administrative and then 20% to the actual thing you're supporting. And
Right.
I don't think churches have that, but you can do research on some churches
hmm
before you give money to them.
Yeah. And listen, if I didn't give it to you the first time, what makes you think 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 more times? If I'm broke, I'm still gonna be broke no matter how times you pass this thing around. Okay. Like, what is the point of that?
I
I don't get
know
it.
you know what? That was so good, Rick. That was funny. No, but it is true. But I
Yeah.
remember thinking like that's changed, because I don't remember getting that basket so many times when I was going. I thought it came around once, right before you
Yeah.
gave, when you shook each other's hands. I forget what that
hmm
thing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
sign of the peace or whatever,
Peace be with you and also
peace
be
be
with
with you,
you. Yeah.
right? So that offering would come by before or after that. I never remember,
hmm
but it was always like one time. But yeah.
hmm Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Me too. When I was a little kid, it was just once. So yeah.
Why would you say that people should go back to the church, whether it be
Mhm.
online or physically? What would be your best argument?
Well, I mean, there's so many, first of all, so you got to kind of find one that you kind of like.
What do you mean? Oh,
Because,
so many
oh, in America,
churches.
every street corner. I mean, maybe not that many, but there's a lot. There's a lot. So you gotta search a little bit. And I always say, ask your friends. You surely must have some friends that go to church. Why do you like it? What's good about it? What you don't you like about it? Da, da, da. And then do some searching. Don't just go to one and be like, oh, I give up. Like, no, because the whole sense of community thing is awesome. You make friends there. Maybe that friend might need, help you one day when you need help.
Mhm.
Sitting at home watching TV, ain't nobody gonna help you if
So,
you.
so you wouldn't say you should only look at churches in your neighborhood. You would say you might want to look online or look at other places. What
Mhm.
about inclusivity? How about that? Like, how does your sermon or what you do? I don't know what the right word is. I was going to say manifest, but that's not right. How do you deal with maybe someone who's gay, somebody who's transgender, issues that are, maybe somebody is very politically inclined or something, or whatever
Mhm.
it is?
Right,
How does your teaching deal with that, or your
right,
service
yeah.
specifically?
So I mean, to me, the focus should always be on the person of Jesus. Like, if you're not, I even have a shirt that I used to have a shirt that said, "If you're not talking about Jesus, you're not talking about Jesus." People are like, huh? Because it's like, that's the thing we're here to talk about. That's what we're gathered around, rallying around him, not agendas, not my sin is worse than yours or better than what. I don't care. That's your issue. That's between you and God. Don't judge somebody else because they sin different than you.
So you would, okay, I just want to clarify something. Are you saying that somebody who's transgender or gay is sinning?
That's not my issue. That's between you and God. I
Okay, well,
don't.
that's why I want to be clear, because as I said that, then you started talking about sinning, and I just want to be clear
Right.
that
Well, the
that's not
church,
your issue.
the church loves judging everything, and they're big for that, unfortunately, and that turns off people. I'll never forget. I was on Periscope, and it's actually happened in real life too. Somebody came on, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Christian?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, so you hate me, huh?" I was like, "Huh? What do
Oh
you
my
mean?
goodness.
I don't even know you. What are you talking about?" "Well, I'm gay, so by default, you hate me." I was like, "I don't even know you. How can I hate you? I don't know the first thing about you." I was like,
Right.
"Why?" And again, church hurt. They've been hurt before, so automatically all Christians must hate, blah, blah. And that kills me. I had a real life encounter too with somebody who visited from Florida, stayed with family, but the family was a little bit judgy too. And I made the effort. He loved to go to movies. I went to the movies with him and we hung out. We went to the restaurant. And the day before he left, and I was fighting so hard not to cry when he said it, he goes, "Thank you, Rick, because you're the only one that didn't make me feel like an outcast or a weirdo or, like I was a leprous person or something." Ah, man, I was trying so hard not to cry when he said that because that hurt me so bad. I'm like, are you serious? Even your own family? So, yeah, I mean,
So your whole service, and I don't want to speak for you, but I want to clarify. You don't care if someone is gay or transgender or black or white or Jewish or whatever. Well, I doubt somebody who's Jewish would come to your service. Well, you don't know. Somebody,
never know.
used to, convert or something and believe that Jesus is a different, because they believe in Jesus, but he's just a prophet, for those of you who don't know. But you don't care where someone's coming from because you don't judge them. No. They're accepted into your service because, unlike a lot of other churches, you're not going to try to change them because that's not what you're there to do. You're there to talk about what you believe, which is Jesus.
Yeah, it's not my job to change nobody. I'm working on me. Okay, ain't got time to work on you. I got to fix me. So, yeah, I accept anybody and everybody because we all got issues, and if it's something you got to deal with between you and God, do it. But I got my own issues. I ain't trying to fix nobody. I don't have the power to fix anybody or change anybody. I can't change anybody.
Right. So why are you the person who has the expertise, let's say, why are you someone I should come and listen to preach about Jesus or the Bible?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as far as my background, I became what I am now type of Christian at 12 years old, voraciously into the Bible. Like I could not get enough. And my life completely turned around when I did that. I was going to kill myself at 12. Mm-hmm. And it was just, I was into so much stuff, just garbage. But yeah, I've been into this since I was 12 and I've never stopped. And I've dealt with all kinds of people and, prayed for so many people, helped people.
And you do it like in Spanish, we say la gana, right? Like you do it because you have to do it. You've read the Bible how many times now?
I'm not even sure.
Well, I heard you say the other day it was like the third time. Maybe it was
online. Yes, online. Starting in Periscope, we've read it. This is the third time I think now going. But me personally, I'm not even sure anymore. It's because I read it every year. I do a 1-year Bible plan, so it's been a bunch of times.
Yeah. Is Periscope still around? Because all of you talk about it so much. I just want to be clear for people. People going to be like looking up Periscope. So Periscope was an app they all used in the past. Right. It was part of Twitter back in the day, right?
Yeah.
It was part of Twitter.
Huge.
And it was huge. And there was really bad parts of it, but really good parts of it. Yeah. And this is where most of these people became friends. And then Periscope got shut down. And then people went over to a place called Haps for a minute. Mm-hmm. So I just want people not to get confused because you keep saying, you all talk about Periscope. I don't think you realize how much.
Because it was huge. That's where we got our start. Like it was nothing to get 2,000 people on our broadcast. And everybody talking and you trying to keep up with all the comments. So it was a big thing. So
yeah. Is there anything that you would want to add to our conversation today that might inspire people who have decided not to be religious but still have faith? Like, is there something, last words or something you want to I don't mean last words that way. I just want to move on to another topic. I know, right? Last words. But is there anything else you want to say to someone who might be a little intrigued, inspired, but
yeah, there's a verse in the Bible that says, if you seek him with all your heart, you will find him. And I 100% believe that. And people say like, well, what if there's somebody on an island and they never heard of nothing about Jesus or Bible? And I'm like, I still stick with that verse. If you seek him with all your heart, you will find him. God will find a way.
Okay, but what if people don't know Jesus?
I hope you want to find out something about him just in case.
Okay.
In case this really is his universe that he created. It might be in your best interest to just in case find out a little bit of something,
No, I
because
got you. No, I really appreciate you doing this because I think it'll be really helpful for people. People ask me all the time, like, I don't understand, like, why you have him as your coach? I'm like, because he's okay. He's cool. He's not crazy. Totally lowest bar. No, it's because we do get along.
yeah, we do.
And I have no issues with anyone who is pursuing what they believe in their heart and soul. And I think the biggest problem, especially in the United States right now, is this inability to be okay with somebody who's different than we are.
Right. And I think that's a big thing about me too. And people say all the time that I'm very open to listen to anybody, to hear different opinions. I'm not scared to hear somebody's different thoughts, so yeah. And I'm going to treat you, you're all human. I'm going to treat you just as good as you treat me, probably better sometimes, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for doing this. I want to tell people again, it is JesusDidIt.org. Sorry that I was saying rickcosta.com, but as of tonight, he's going to set up a button just in case. You should do that anyways, because
it might even be on there. I can't remember, but
yeah, because I was always saying that, you know what I mean, to other people, and look at, just so people are aware, I don't promote Rick's show on my show because I don't want to push people away who are not religious, and you know what I mean. Like the show is all about the joy, and we do specific topics. We have guests on or whatever. So, and Rick knows that, but it's not because I'm avoiding what he does.
Right.
I respect what he does. I try to visit his broadcast at least once or twice a week to be supportive. And I believe in who Rick is as a person. So I don't want people to get it twisted. I may not believe exactly in what he does, but I know that he is, and I say this respectfully, one of the good people. You know what I mean?
And I was just thinking, like, if anybody on the Christian side saying the same thing, like, well, why do you hang out with Carmen? Because she's good people.
That's right. We're good people.
I just checked my website, by the way, and there is a link to JesusDidIt.org.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, it's confusion. Okay, whatever. So I wanted to see, I mean, again, thank you so much for letting me kind of go through this and kind of talk to you. I think it's an important part of it.
I mean, you let me interview you about your book, so it's only fair.
I like how you like to slip that all in there. No.
Called Canela on Amazon.
But actually, you know what's so interesting is I am writing a second book, and I'm now trying to carve out time, because I think if you really want to do something, you need to do it. You need to stop talking about it. You need to just do it. But it is hard, right? When you're so busy and just ridiculously off, I don't know, on so many things. But so glad you were here. I'm going to shut this down, and thank you again. And I appreciate you so much. And I love that you're part of All About the Joy. I don't think I would have the broadcast without you, because you've got to but it's true. You got to have the ability to talk with somebody that gets you and that you can argue with and have conversations. I don't think we've really had a lot of arguments, but we disagree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like Loki and, Thor, and things that really, really matter.
Exactly.
The Avengers. But I appreciate you so much. And
we definitely want to say, what time and day does All About the Joy come on? Can't forget to say that.
But they know. No, I'm just kidding. So Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can visit us on All About the Joy on the live stream on Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can always catch the podcast. It posts by Monday morning at 6 a.m. on the East Coast. And we will catch you all next time. So thank you for stopping by. And remember, it's always all about the joy.
See ya.
Thank you, Rick. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.